Hokey Pokey, Chapter 16, Part 6. The following morning, they staged Thelma for her big debut. They crossed the road and dug out a small trench and a number of deep holes. In between those, they buried a dozen homemade tire traps that resembled a child's set of jacks, except they were fashioned from house nails that Slump had welded together one winter, years back when he had trouble with an unusually aggressive black bear who refused to vacate the premises. After they finished setting the trap, Slump poured them each a glass of sweet tea. He broke out a little jug of apple mash, and they sat out on the front porch and waited while the last of the direct sunlight cut golden green across the new growth along the edge of Bryant's Ridge. It was afternoon now in the valley, and they could hear vehicles approach from a good distance, at least half a mile down the valley in either direction. There wasn't much traffic down there, even during the day, so whenever the men heard an engine, they rushed out to their positions to prepare to spring the trap. Code talker behind a clump of bushes near the base of an old oak tree, where they had anchored the rope to the base of a sapling, and Slump and Althea behind a bank of tall grass and brambles just up the road a piece. Slump had loaded Althea with a big load of black powder under a glitter charge for insurance, just in case Thelma wasn't scary enough to nudge the judge off the road. Slump had a little trunk full of felonies too. They had just returned to their perch on the porch after the fourth false alarm. It was almost sunset. The code talker was starting to feel a little disheartened. Then, off in the far distance toward the west, they heard the sound of another engine, still faint against the frogs and cicadas in the foreground, but it was clear as a bell, headed their way. Now, this is going to be the one, Slump said. I just know it. You hear that? He's hot rodding it for sure. You can hear it getting louder on the straightaways. Let's go. Slump and Code Talker resumed their stations. They listened to the distance and the sound of the engine getting louder and louder. The trap would have to work without a hitch, too. The trap would have worked without a hitch, too, had there not been a hitch, a real one, in the form of a small branch that caught Thelma's hanging rope at the base, preventing her from dropping into place properly. Code Talker struggled to free it, panicked, yelling, "Won't come loose, Slump." Slump come back with something like, leave her be." "Doom," Althea said, sending a single black, glittering ring of smoke up into the canopy of that oak tree. It sounded like a special effect in a community theater production of The Lord of the Rings. Slump looked like a low-budget Gandalf the Grey. The Eldorado cut hard to the left, just as they predicted, the momentum carrying it around the beginning of the turn such that the vehicle slid to a stop on the driver's side. As it stopped, the glitter drifted down along the wreck like snow. Just then, Thelma's cord snapped where Althea had grazed it a little, dropping Thelma into an obscene little heap in the middle of the road. By the time the men felt brave enough to investigate the Eldorado, the driver had vanished from the scene. The Eldorado lay on its side with its hazard lights on and both right side wheels still spinning a little. "They'll get him eventually," Slump said. "There's only one vehicle like this in the whole damn county. They won't even have to run the VIN, or I reckon." The trunk of the Eldorado had been opened by the force of the wreck, so planting that little itty-bitty trunk of felonies for the police to find was the easy part. "Shouldn't we kind of drop it in there so it looks more like it was part of the wreck?" Code Talker said. "You drop it if you want to," Slump said, "but I wouldn't advise it. You might wind up blowing up all the evidence, and us too." They left a little trunk in the trunk of the Eldorado, and then draped Thelma across it in an afterthought. "That'll make a good picture for the paper," Slump said. "They don't like a story if it don't got good pictures." Then Slump called the Putnam County Sheriff's Department, and the dispatcher handed the case off to Officer Throckmorton, who, as luck would have it, had just finished the documentation on the fire up yonder. Tune in next time for Chapter 17.